Okay, yeah, so I'm just setting up, and thank you Laced Up for tuning in, and anyone else that's already logged on. I know I haven't really broadcasted that I'm going to do this live stream, but I thought I'd play a few tunes, and if you have any requests, as always, yeah, leave them in the chat box and I will play them throughout this live stream. I've just played, well, this is Me and You in the background, which is out now on Spotify, a drum and bass track, a bit more upbeat than some of the tracks from the Dreams album, which was out last month. And yeah, happy Easter. I hope you're having a great weekend, and yeah, lots of chocolate. Okay, this is Out in Space, which is a track that's releasing quite soon. Well, that's good, because I never really plan these, I just do them as and when. But I'm glad you do like them. Okay, so this is Out in Space, which is out soon. So, first time listening. Okay, so that one is called Out in Space, and it will be out at the end of this month or the beginning of May. Yeah. Recently I discovered that there is a place near where I live where I can go and see through one of these big telescopes, which is something that I only thought people that study astronomy would be able to do. So it's been quite cool going to see that. Well, I've only been once, but I'm going to go again at some point. And yeah, on the Dreams album, I think one of my favourite tracks is actually Every Day, which is the first track on it. But I also liked making Waterfalls, which I made before the album came out. But yeah, I think I'm going to play Every Day now and yeah, see how it goes. Yeah, so that one is Every Day, and I think the reason I enjoyed making this particular one is because I enjoy putting together the kind of groove of the track, so the main thing that repeats, and I think the satisfying part of it is where I'll put several different, sometimes samples, sometimes obviously electronic sounds that I've integrated, and when it all seems like a kind of, yeah, I don't know, I just like the harmonies and the way that it comes together. Okay, so this is, yeah, Stepping Stones next. Okay, I'll play that one. How are you doing, Furious Jam? Thank you for tuning in. And yes, that was the first track. Right, gotcha. Okay, so that is, yeah, Stepping Stones. I do remember creating this track because actually the artwork I used for it on SoundCloud, well, actually I think the artwork I used for it on every platform was one of my mum's artworks. So I remember picking this particular artwork because I thought it worked quite well with the track. Stepping stones, they're not really stepping stones, but the image has some dragonflies flying over some kind of tufts of grass, but they do look a bit like stepping stones. Okay, this is Stepping Stones. I hope you enjoy it. This will be with violin already, but I'll try and add stuff to it. Yeah, so that one is Stepping Stones, and I released it as a single. I can't remember if I added it to an album. I think I is it on the I think I added it to the Volume 1 album. But yeah, it was released originally as a single. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you like that one. It is quite I suppose it's got a lot of string elements in it, and it comes together quite strongly, I suppose, in the drop as well. But yeah. Okay, so that one was Stepping Stones, and yeah, I suppose technically, but it's not quite the same because I'm doing this on a very low scale, small scale. So it's just playing along to some of the tracks, but I do have some tracks ready to be played live that don't have the violin integrated. So those are the ones that would work well. Yeah, at some point maybe I will come over there. You never know. I mean, never say never. At one point I was invited to I think it was a small scale festival somewhere in America. I can't remember where it was, but it was, I think I had to, the travel was paid for, but I think there was an issue in the end. I don't know, maybe they didn't end up being able to set it up or so, I don't know. But another time I'm sure I'll find a way to do one. Okay, so next I'm going to play another track from the I'm going to play Warm Heart, which is actually an older track, but I thought I'd add it to the Dreams album because it fits in with the other tracks on it. Yeah, laced up. Okay, cool, sounds good. Okay, this is Warm Heart. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, that one is Warm Heart, and I just realised I think I have a reverb thing that I can add to this. Let me have a look here. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's funny, I haven't done one of these for a while, so I've forgotten some of the things that wait, let's see, is it filters? Wait. Oh yeah, here we are. Oh, maybe it's already on it. Okay, cool, yeah. No, it's already, see, I thought I hadn't put it on, but it is already on there. Okay, so, Laced Up, yes, awesome, Easter dinner. So, is Easter dinner on a specific day? I wasn't sure if, because I know tomorrow's meant to be the day where you go and look for the eggs. You do an egg hunt, but I suppose Easter dinner is every day of Easter? Wait, no, is Easter? Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, so that one was Warm Heart from the Dreams album. And next I'm going to play a track called Memory, which no, I'm going to play, because I've played that one quite a few times before. I'm going to play Between Worlds, which kind of corresponds to the track that I'm releasing soon called Out in Space, which I think is also, it's got that same I suppose ethereal electronic sound that I like to create in quite a few of my tracks. Okay, so this is Between Worlds. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, good points there that you're making, laced up. Actually, I think, yeah, I think some of the sounds that I use maybe create that. But no, I think when I'm making these tracks, it is a transporting journey. So it's to do with that. It's to do with it being almost to transport, yeah. But I think when I'm making them, I suppose I am looking for that transporting sound, almost a bit like, yeah, I think ethereal, but it's also a bit interplanetary. I don't know. It's the electronic sounds that I use, I think, try to sound a bit like that. I suppose maybe it's weird. I suppose it's in a way, it's like, yeah, the melodies are meant to take on a journey, and I think with some of my tracks, some of them have longer phrases, and also the way that they progress. But for me, it's more the fact that they are transporting. Yeah, they do take you somewhere else. But I think a lot of, obviously, all music does that. So it's about, yeah. Okay, so that one was Between Worlds, and next I'm going to play. Okay, this is from, yeah, actually no, this was released as a single, Elderwind. I'm going to play that one next. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, okay, so that one was Elderwind. And happy Sunday to you too. Thank you for tuning in. Right, let's see here. So yeah, I was just going to do quite a short live stream today, so I'll probably be doing maybe one or two more. So if you have a request, please leave it in the chat box now, and I'll play maybe two more today, and I'll be doing another one of these very soon, I'm sure. I haven't done one for a while. I finished the Dreams album, and then I kind of thought, okay, I'll do one after that. So yeah, I'm really happy with how the album turned out, and a lot of people have talked about it, which is amazing. And thank you earlier, Laced Up, for mentioning Morning Breeze from the album that you enjoyed. Thank you, that's awesome to hear. Okay, so I'm going to play two more, maybe. I think Raccoon City, as it has a vocal, it's a bit if I had I don't think I have the stems. I've probably got them on a different hard drive, because it was a few years ago now since I released that one. So actually, I think that one maybe not. But if you have a different choice, then go ahead. Or maybe, actually, I could play Morning Breeze. Yeah, maybe I'll play Morning Breeze and then one more. So, yeah, I'll start with that. And then, although that does have a vocal as well, I think sometimes it's trickier to play tracks with vocals with the violin, because it kind of, what I tried to do is use the violin as the melody in those. Thank you, Laced Up, I appreciate that. Yeah, there is news on that track, we'll see, maybe at some point. I don't think I'm allowed to say anything though, but okay, so I'm going to play Morning Breeze actually, yeah, I'll just go with that one, and then one more after that. I hope you enjoy it. This is Morning Breeze. Okay. Okay, so that one is Morning Breeze, and I released that as two versions basically. So you have this version, which is the chill step kind of version, or slightly less, yeah, and the other one is house. So it's a kind of, I've tried to release it in two ways, this track, and see how that goes. So thank you again to all of you for tuning in. If you'd like to support further, I've left a link in the description of this video. You can check out what I put up on there, and yeah, that's the best place to support me directly with this music. And thank you again, Hector, thank you for tuning in. I hope you're well. Sorry you've arrived towards the end of the live stream, but I'll be doing another one very soon, and I'm sure you'll catch me then. Anyway, happy Easter to all of you, and I hope you eat lots of chocolate, etc., and have a good time with family and friends, and I'm sure I'll catch you on the next one. So take care, have a good one, bye.